So here we have a Brazilian against an American, Zuleta Visser. It will be on this on the left-hand side as you're looking at the screen, and Luiza Caetano from Brazil, an Olympian. Alex will be on target number 1. Silver medalist at Gator Cup earlier in the year. An 11th seed and a 5th seed. I mean, there's some big names that are not here. Notably Casey, who I don't think has lost a match here for about 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the lineup, there was only one number 1 ranked archer that even made it through to the finals. That's how match play goes, you know, and especially with set points. Like, it's even, I don't want to say worse, but it's even worse, you know. You never know what's going to happen. And so 72 arrows is a lot of arrows, and like if you're a really strong shooter, that tends to show, but anything can happen in 15 arrows, and that's why this is so exciting. And I mean, we're seeing that with the lineup that we have here, and we've had some really impressive finals so far, so I'm excited to have the Recurve girls kick off.
Well, and the interesting fact is, we talk about the top seeds not being here. These two knocked out the 1 and 2 seed at the semi-final stage.
Yep.
So I think Olivia Martin, in fact, taking bronze over Casey Koffold. Casey departing without a medal for the first time in a long, long time, beaten via a shoot-off in that one. So these two have taken, again, two notable archers on their way to this gold medal match.
I do think that's going to help give them some more momentum coming into here, you know. It's like they have that confidence that... One thing I've always tried to look at is it doesn't really matter how you qualified. It matters how you're shooting today. Like, match play is a whole new day, and sometimes you see someone's qualify really, really strong and not perform well on match day, or vice versa. And so it's really just this one day that's make or break. So Alex, obviously all a little bit high, a little bit left there, so it's probably going to be a little bit of clicking and adjusting as she comes into this finals venue.
Two big final ends from Alex against Casey in the semi-finals. She was trailing in that one against. No, in fact, they were level after 3 ends, and then Alex came in with a 28 and a 29 to take that one 7-3 against Casey.
And Alex is in the program, right? Like, Alex lives here at the training center and is able to train on this field. So Alex, I mean, she'll know the wind and she'll know all of that from having that experience. And I'd like to say our new head coach is in her coaching box. Yep. That's exciting. It's good to see him out there.
Yes, Elias is chatting away to Alex.
I had the pleasure of meeting him at Arizona Cup, and I think he's great. I think he's going to be an awesome addition to our country and to the team. So
he's got a very, very firm handshake.
Yes, he does.
That alone is quite intimidating.
You can just tell he's a great guy. He has the right mindset. He's got a really good energy about him, and it's a little different, I feel like, than what we've had. And talking to him, you know, he's a very personable guy, and you know, I think even from the compound side, we obviously interact with the Recurve coaches on World Cups or World Championships and different events like that. And I think everyone's going to really appreciate him on the trips. So it's good to see him out there behind Alex.
And we're not privy to that conversation, but what is being said?
You know, and this is what a good coach knows what each archer needs, and each archer might need something different. There's archers that tough love in that situation is going to be a little bit better, and there's archers who maybe being a little softer might be better for them. So luckily he knows Alex, so he knows what she needs. I don't know her well enough actually to know what she would prefer, but there you go. Whatever he said worked. See?
Seemed to have done the trick.
Yep.
Ana Luiza. How will she respond? 2-0 up.
Ooh, okay. Recurve's always interesting to me because they can look so still and so solid, and to me their release looks good, and then something like that happens, and it always catches me off guard a little bit.
Ana Luiza, just a very slow head turn round to her coach.
That was a very, very good arrow. Nice recovery from her there.
Okay.
So Alex really just needs, you know, one good strong arrow to close out this set. Oh, okay, so that just got really exciting. So
Okay.
Anna needs a 10 to tie this set.
That would split the points.
It is a 9. So
Okay. There we go. 2-2, 27-26.
That was a good recovery, though, from Alex. I mean, after the first end to, you know, her groupings and everything in the second end, I always like to see people make that quick recovery. And I think that's something that they don't get enough credit for because you're obviously nervous.
Yeah.
It's going so quick. It's only 3 arrows, so to have such a big reset is really impressive.
Because I often say this, at this level it is percentages. You're not
It is.
you're not going from set 1 to set 2 and making massive changes.
No.
So so it's got to be very specific and very precise information. And as
Yes,
an archer, do you know when you're, you know, slightly off a little bit?
Yes, we do. Absolutely. And so, you know, a lot of the times there's not a whole lot, at least for compound. I know recurve is very different, but there's not a lot of things that someone can say in that moment because you're not learning to shoot any better.
Yeah.
You're not improving, right? It's having your head in the right space, having the right things going through your mind. Your shot timing is incredibly important in these situations because, again, you can't let down. So that's very, very critical in how your performance typically goes out here. But more often than not, like whoever's in my coaching box, I always try to just have them stay kind of light. By the time you've made it here, as far as like coaching on form or anything like that, it's too late. It's already do or die. They're in a gold medal final. They've made it this far. You're not going to be changing anything at this stage, like you said. So it's really just embrace the training you've already done and fling some arrows.
Well, and the reason I say that is because Anna over on the far side, just a little look round to her coach. They're not saying anything. It's a visual. It's a facial expression. Well, and it intrigues me what is being conveyed in that body language.
A lot of the times they're telling them where the arrow's impacted because we're used to having our own spotting scopes to be able to see our own arrows, and then all of a sudden now in the final they don't allow that, which I do not love. And so a lot of the times I'm looking back to at least hear where they're calling the arrow placement so you know if you need to aim a little different for the wind or click your sight. So I've actually seen coaches where they just call it. I've seen ones where they do finger signs and like lots of different things for that. But a lot of it is just hearing where your arrow impacted because 9 could be anywhere in the 9, right?
Okay. Well, a 10 here. As we do the math. And there it is. There's me calling it 4-2 then for the Brazilian. There's an opportunity there for both archers, in fact. Anna Luiza starting with a 7. Strong start from Alex, and then 2 8s just left that door open for that final arrow from Anna Luiza for a 10. So it's 4-2. Still very much anybody's game, though.
I would like to say, obviously, from compound and barebow now moving to recurve, they did push the targets back 20 meters. So they're shooting 70 meters, which is pretty darn far down that field.
And the other thing as well, if we look down that field, you mentioned earlier when compound was here, you've got that brick building to the left, which blocks the wind, but then there's open space beyond it. So the wind then becomes a factor for arguably the last 20 meters.
Yeah, it's a little bit different trying to judge, again, with these ladies shooting on a different field and then coming up here to this final. Because while the wind's going to feel the same to them, it's actually probably going to drift their arrows a little bit less in this setting than what they had on just the wide open field. So it can make it a little bit more challenging trying to adjust. But even in the first 6 arrows, I mean, they can tell where their bow broke versus where that arrow impacted. So it gives them a pretty good idea of what they need to be doing.
It's the 5th of 6 gold medal matches that'll wrap up SoCal Showdown for 2025. A record-breaking one. I think 711, I think, was the highest number of archers. There were 730 something, 732, I believe. So A wonderful showing over the last few days, and we can just thank the organisers and all the volunteers and staff and officials, and of course the archers.
And SoCal's a beautiful venue. There's a lot to do. Obviously, the ocean is close. There's a lot of different fun, exciting things. So I think that really helps draw people in, just because the location is always, and the weather's always pretty good too.
Yeah, the mornings can be a little chilly, but when that mist burns off, it's absolutely glorious, and it has been.
Yes.
So.
No, absolutely. So one thing that's different from the recurves to the bare bows is obviously recurves have sights and all of that stuff, but they have the clicker. And so basically you watch them come into anchor, and then they're pulling, pushing, and expanding. And then as that clicks out of the way, that's how they know when to release. So bare bow obviously didn't have that on this last match. Recurve does.
Sensational shot there from Alex Zuleta Visser. That's wrapped up.
Really good end for her. So yeah, she's already won that set no matter what. So 27-28.
Okay. We've not had a shoot-off yet.
Oh, don't jinx them like that.
Okay, all right.
No, they're close enough going back and forth. We could see a shoot-off between these two ladies. Both of them are putting on a really good show.
And Alex often wears these colourful bucket hats. She's not disappointed today. Colour coordinated with her top as well. Am I right?
Does you are.
Yeah,
yeah,
kind of.
It matches.
Look, I'm a dad. I just my fashion sense is as low as it gets.
No, actually, a lot of her stuff is kind of blue and kind of matches. But yeah, honestly, like right now, if I had to guess, I don't think they're even talking archery. I think they're talking about anything but. A lot of the times I prefer that as well, just because it's like, obviously you're already thinking about what you need to do. There's no point in someone else telling you what you need to do. So you can see them kind of laughing and smiling.
So are you the carrot or the stick? Do you prefer the arm around the shoulder or the kick up the backside,
like
as
the
they
stick.
say? Okay.
Yeah. Tell me I suck and to suck less. That's what I need.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Marcus, of course, who was just in the last match, he was with us also in Indiana last week, and that was a heck of a challenge. Real contest that was had there, and plenty of water, plenty of obstacles and challenges, but
that's what makes field.
Well, and I know you put out on your social media afterwards. You love that form of the sport.
It's my favorite. I really do. Yeah.
Did you grow up with that, or was that kind of your first introduction to archery?
No. Yes, I grew up with the Reading style format, so it's very similar to field. 2 arrows per target. You're shooting uphill, downhill, side hill. You move around just like field. So not unknown, but very similar, and so that's why it's so near and dear to my heart. I didn't find this until later when I found the U.S. team, and then decided I wanted to try for that.
And you've done all right, I think it's fair to say.
So Alex is starting us off here, which I do think there's a little bit of an advantage to getting to lead off, in my opinion. You get to get your arrows in there, and then Anna's going to have to make that final shot, knowing what she needs. I think it makes it a little bit more challenging.
It was 5-3, not 4-4, so there was obviously a liner that we've now been made aware of.
So now it's exciting, because now Alex knows that she has to win this set. Oh, and that's not what she needed. So yeah, if they were to tie this set, it would still go to Anna. Oh, an 8 from Anna. Okay.
So this is a huge arrow then. Huge.
Yeah, so important. A little bit of a longer hold for her. Come on. I mean, good arrow.
That's a 9. Okay. That's given her a chance. But a 9 would hand the title.
Yeah. Whoa.
5.
Okay. Not what we expected to see
And you
in
can
this
hear,
gold medal match.
and you can hear from the response from the crowd.
You jinxed them. You called this shoot off.
The shoot off, I tell you what.
You manifested that.
Wow. So we are going to have the first shoot off of the afternoon.
There's so many moments in archery where it all comes down to one arrow. You work so hard and you train so hard, and it comes down to that one arrow, that one shot. And man, when they go good, it is the best feeling. And when they don't, when it's an arrow like that, it just guts you. So I would say right now, with what just happened, Alex is sitting in a pretty good spot because
Well,
that
it's
was a
that
big
mental
comeback.
side of it. It's that mental side of,
Yes.
you know, she had it. She had the opportunity, and it wasn't as if it was a 7 or an 8. It was a 5.
Yeah. So, you know, this is really going to define what type of archer Anna is, because can you let go of that last arrow, step up there and shoot a good shot, or are you going to let that hold you back a little bit? And Alex, on the other hand, is coming off a high from just coming back and, you know, pushing it to a shoot off and having that chance and that opportunity. And so you know that she's going to carry that over and try to make the best shot she can. But I always like to see how that goes in these situations, because that was a hard arrow for Anna.
And looking at the body language, there's smiles in both boxes, to be fair.
Yeah,
Trying to
Alex
see.
looks pretty comfortable, really loose. You know, you can see her, she's moving, she's talking. Anna definitely seems a little more stoic. But she has the entire match, so.
And Alex is more eager. Look, she's looking to get back to the line
Yep.
as quickly as possible.
She's ready to go, and I think she'll get to start it off. Yes.
So they've replaced the target faces, and we are now going to be 1 arrow each. Nearest to the center will take the title.
It's a long hold.
It's an 8.
It's a wider 8, too. It's not what she was looking for.
It's a huge opportunity then for Anna.
Yeah, that's a very quick arrow. 9.
And it's a 9, so she'll take the title for 2025. Disappointment for Alex, but a fabulous performance nonetheless.